Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Little something I want to touch base and talk about, and it's really important to me. And when I say it, you guys are going to go, "Oh my God, here Ghost goes talking about that same thing again." The topic of this little rant is water. Uh, yes, I know. Here Ghost goes talking about water again. Water is the most important prep that you will have. Period, by far, hands down, more important than food. The only thing more important than water is going to be air, the air that you breathe, and shelter if you're in inclement weather. But water is right up there. Water's number one, two, and three on my list. And just to, people have heard everybody say how important water is. You need this much a day, you need that much a day to survive, to function, yada, yada, yada. What I figured I'd do is break it down and put it in numbers where people can really go, whoa, that's a lot. Okay, here we go. 1 gallon of water weighs 8.33 pounds. 1 gallon. So if you're humping or bugging out and you're carrying a day's worth of water and you're not really doing hardcore humping in the desert, then you're going to need at least 3 gallons. That's 25 pounds of just water you got to start with, okay? And you're going to need approximately 3 gallons per person to survive. In a grid down situation, if you're if you're bugging in and you're just trying to make it to the 90 days, we'll call it the 30, 60, 90 day mark. You go ahead and shoot for 3 gallons of water per person per day in your household, and that's for drinking, that's for cooking, that's for cleaning. That's another reason why I lean very hard towards foods that I put up. They're foods that don't need water to prepare. That's why I like to can my beans. Now, the rice is obviously going to need water, but not a whole lot. You really need quite a bit of water to bring dried beans back to life. That's one of the main reasons why I love to can as much beans. I can all my meals as much as possible. I still have a lot of dry storage, don't get me wrong, but I have a lot of stuff already canned to where I don't have to utilize any of my water storage to make that stuff edible, which to me is really, really important because it cuts down on the amount of water that you're actually going to have. So you're looking at 3 gallons per person per day just to survive for your 90-day bunkering in till the smoke clears outside. That's for drinking, cooking, and cleaning. Your hygiene and all that good stuff, which is very important. Okay, just to put it into perspective, you'll see some people when they do their prepper pantry walkthroughs and they show you all their stuff. You'll see 8, 10, maybe 12 cases of bottled water that they got from Walmart, and that's all well and good. It looks like a lot of water, but let me break it down for you. Okay, 1 case of bottled water from Walmart, the kind that I get, the kind a lot of people get, it's the shrink wrapped case. It comes with 40 1/2 liter bottles in it. Okay. That's approximately 5 gallons of water per case. So each one of those cases is about 5 gallons of water. So in a grid down scenario, that's enough water for you with a little extra, maybe 2 people if you stretch it, because it's only a little over 5 gallons of water in that case of water. All right, so now you need 3 gallons per person per day for 1 month. All right, that's 90 gallons for 1 person. That equals 18 cases of water just to make it for 30 days for 1 person. 18 cases of that Walmart water for 1 person for 30 days. Okay? All right, so those 18 cases of water, that's 750 pounds of water per person per month. Okay? Now, if you're going for the 90 days, that translates into 2,250 pounds of water for 90 days for 1 person. That's 270 gallons or 54 cases of the Walmart water for 1 person for 90 days. All right, let that sink in for a second. 54 cases. You need over a ton of water, 2,250 pounds of water for 1 person for that 90-day bunkering in session. Okay, let's say you got a family of 4. Say it's you, your husband or wife, and your 2 kids. For 1 month, that's 72 cases of the Walmart water, which is 360 gallons. For 1 month, that's 3,000 pounds of water you have to store for your family of 4 for 1 month. For the full 90 days, you're looking at 216 cases of water, or 1,080 gallons. That's 9 9,000 pounds. That's almost 5 tons of water that you have to store somewhere. Okay, just for shits and giggles, say you live, you know, in an apartment or somewhere, and you have the money and the means and the time to lug 216 cases of water up to your third floor apartment and put it all in your spare bedroom. That 9,000 pounds of water is probably going to completely collapse the floor in these apartments. I mean, the sheer volume of water that a family of four is going to need for 3 months is insane. 9,000 pounds, almost 5 tons of water, 4.5 tons of water for 90 days. So my suggestion, storing water is always great. Storing water is definitely an option. Store as much as you can, but these numbers give you a prospect of what it's going to take to not be able to, if you don't have the option to go get water, to get clean water, a renewable source of water, then these are the numbers that you're looking at. It's crazy. It pisses me off when you watch movies on TV, like say, like The Walking Dead. Okay, you never see them. I mean, there was one good episode where they were dying of thirst, and you see one of them walking around with a milk jug. I mean, come on, yeah, and they've been walking for like 2 weeks, but nobody's drinking any water except for this one episode when they're really really hurting for water. It's horseshit. People don't realize the lack of water is what's going to kill a majority of the people when shit goes crazy, because that's the first resource that's going to put you 6 feet under if you don't have it. There's water. Period. End of the story. I mean, it is what it is. So you're talking 9,000 pounds of water for a family of four. My suggestion is, and I don't give a shit if they say it's illegal, I don't care, is to learn how to harvest rainwater. Period. There are harvesting systems you can get off of Amazon. I actually have one here I'm installing on my house as soon as I can get me a couple of IBC totes. And I'm going to have at least 2 of the 275-gallon IBC totes, which that'll translate into almost 6,000 gallons of water when they're full. And you'll be surprised at how much water you get off the roof of your house per square foot when it rains. It's even a small rain. But harvesting water is going to be a lifesaver if you don't have access to a well, a stream, a river, a pond, or a lake, which you're also going to need a good water filtration system or water purification system like a Berkey. But yeah, rainwater harvesting is very important. If you don't want to spend the money and get the system with the first flush device that gets all the garbage out before it stores your water and then run it through a Berkey, if you're doing it completely off grid, as cheap as possible, all you need is a 55-gallon drum, park it underneath the downspout at your gutter, and just let that bad boy fill up. And what you do, for your mosquitoes and things like that, I know it sounds stupid, but it works. All you need is some either olive oil or some vegetable oil, the stuff that you cook with, the stuff that you ingest in your body, so it's not going to kill you. And you take you about a cup of that, half a cup to a cup, and just pour it in the top of that 55-gallon drum. And it'll coat a layer of oil about that thick across the entire top of the water in that drum. That will keep all your mosquitoes out. That will keep your bugs away. That will keep your water clean. You can just dip your cup down in there. You can slosh the oil to the side, dip your cup down in there, and get you some clean water. It's not going to matter if you get a little bit of oil in there with it. I mean, you ingest it when you cook. I know it doesn't sound very sanitary, but it works. There are people out there right now that exist in the world that's how they get their drinking water, is straight off the roof, oil on top of the water in the barrel, and it works. It's a feasible way to do it. There are several different ways to take care of your drinking water and harvest drinking water. But I just wanted to put some actual numbers behind the logistics in having water for you and for your family, just so you can sit back and go, holy shit. Now you're thinking, man, that those 10 cases of bottled water I got in the garage or in the closet or in the basement, that really doesn't amount to shit. That's like having a couple cases of canned beans and corn. I mean, yeah, it looks nice sitting there, but it's not going to feed you for that amount of time. And in 10 cases of bottled water, it might look like a lot, but it really isn't when you think about the amount of water that you need to survive every day. So please, 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 if you take anything from this, the one thing that you should over prep is water. I mean, over prep water. Every time you go to the store, get a couple cases of bottled water. Work on a water purification system. watch my video on how do you build a Berkey. It's very cheap, it's very easy, and it works really, really well. Look into collecting your rainwater, harvesting your rainwater. If you don't have a well, but your property sits on an area where you could legitimately have a well, look into digging a well. Hire somebody to do it. There are actually several videos, if you're close to the water table, that actually show you how to dig your own well. It's not that complicated of an issue. I mean, you basically just dig in a hole down to the water, and you put you a pump down there. There are videos on how to do that online. That's not something I've done. It's not something that I've looked into yet. I may actually look into it after I added up all these numbers, because I got to tell you guys, this stuff here, I knew it was important. I knew it was a lot. I didn't know it was that much until I did the math on this, and I was like, holy shit. And that's just at 3 gallons per person per day. If you're, out doing the things in a grid down situation, and you're out, cutting firewood, doing physical stuff, if you're out doing, shooting and moving, you're looking at maybe it's upwards of 5 gallons a day. Now you're talking 13, 14,000 pounds of water for 1 month for a family of 4. I mean, it can blow up, especially if you've got family members coming to stay with you. I know I keep harping on it, I'm sorry, but water is the one prep that people take for granted, because apparently society takes it for granted, and they don't realize that you need like 25 pounds of that stuff, a day if you're on the move, minimum. So yeah, it's important. Prep water, prep a lot of water, prep extra water, prep water till you float. That's it for Ghost right now. I may talk to you guys a little bit later. Please like and subscribe. One other thing, my what would Ghost do? I need some more emails. I've got a couple left. You guys, wwgdquestions@gmail.com. Email me give me an email, a detailed email of a grid down scenario, a prepper type scenario, any kind of scenario you can think of, whether it involves you and your family, whether it involves somebody else, whether it's just completely hypothetical. Email me your scenarios, and I'll break them down, and I'll make a video specifically tailored to you for that scenario. I would really appreciate that. Other than that, that's about all I got to say. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one.